Assalamu alaikum students. In today's video, I'm going to tell you more about this exercise 1.3a as some of the questions from question number 1 up till question number 6 we have done in the previous one video, so you can check the previous video if you want to have the answers of first 6 questions. Now let's move towards question number 7 and onward. So in this question number 7, what they are asking that makes 6 prime numbers using the digit this once each. Like here you need to use all of these digits, but each digit will be used only one time and you need to make 6 prime numbers accordingly. So prime numbers, I told you that prime numbers are those who are having only two factors. One is the number 1 and the number itself. Okay. Like for example, 2, 3, 5, 7. These are all the prime numbers, because if we are going to talk about these numbers, these are only have two factors in common. Like one is the number 1 that is common for all of these. Like 1 is the factor of every number and the second number is the number itself. So that's why these basically numbers are called the prime numbers. According to these, what we are going to do, we are going to take these numbers and we are going to make 6 prime numbers accordingly. Okay. So for making a prime number, again, similar thing is there. Like you need to make a number that is not going to be divisible other than that of the number 1 and the number itself. So accordingly, we are going to discuss. Fine. First, we can directly take some prime numbers whatsoever they gave. Like we have 2, that is a prime number. We have 3 as a prime number. We have 7, 5 as a prime number. Let's take just these 3, because rest might be we need to use for the other numbers to combine them with. So 1, 2, 3. These are 3 prime numbers that we got. Now 3 prime numbers more are remaining. If I'm going to add 4 and 1, that would be 41, and it would be also a prime number because it's not going to be divisible by any other number unless 1 and the number itself. Okay. Next, we are remaining with these numbers. 1 as well we are having. Okay, fine. 1 we can combine with this. Okay, 1 we have already done. Okay, next what we can have 6, 7, 8, and 9. So only 4 of these numbers are remaining and just 2 numbers are remaining to make them according to the prime number. So one is 67 we can make. Okay, and the one number could be 89. So these all numbers can be prime. If you are thinking of any other number that is also making, like, you can choose them as well. So according to my side, like these are 6 prime numbers that we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So all of these numbers are having only 1 as their factor and the number itself. These are the factors of these all numbers. So you can check why we are calling them as prime numbers. Fine. They are only having two factors. One is the number 1 and the number itself. Okay. So this is your part number 7. Moving towards part number 8, what they're saying that write the following numbers as a product of their prime factors. So what we are going to do, we are going to write these down according to the product of their prime factors. So for this, for making them into their prime factors, there are multiple methods. Right now I'm going to use the factor tree method. Okay, that is also one method. You can write them down according to some prime numbers. Fine. So as we are moving towards question number 8. Okay, so in part number 8, the first A part they gave is 24. And we need to make the prime factors for 24. For this, you can use any two numbers for the multiples at the very start. Like for example, I'm using 2 and 12. 12 2 times is basically 24. So accordingly, 12 further you can make into some factors like 2 and 4. 2 and 6 you can use, and then further 6 can be used as 2 and 3. So the numbers that are coming at the ends, that would be your prime factors. Okay, just these numbers, these are all the prime factors of the number 24. You can write them all over here in the form of their product. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So how many times 2 is basically multiplying over here 3 times, so you can write 2 raised to the power 3 times 3. This is basically the product of the prime factors for 24. Okay, so this is one of the easiest way to make the numbers into their prime factors. Okay, next moving towards the B part here in question number 8 as well. So B part, they gave us 60. Again, you can use any two numbers at the start to make them into their prime factors. So for 60, you can use 6 times 10. 6 we can go with 2 times 3, and 10 we can go with 5 times 2. So we need to make the 60 as the product of the prime factor. So first I'm choosing like only the ends number that are coming at the ends. So you can arrange them as well, like first writing all 2's, then 3, then 5. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So here, whatsoever the number is basically repeated, accordingly you can write them according to the power, as 2 were repeated 3 times here. So I wrote 2 power 3. But here 2 was repeated only 2 times. So I wrote 2 square, then 3 and 5 as it is. So these are the factors for the number 60. Okay. So similarly, the other numbers that we have, for example, if we would be checking for the part number C, this is 90. So for 90, if we are resolving it into prime factors, we can go with 9 10 times. So 3 times would be 9, and 5 2 times would be 10. So accordingly, the 90 factors are 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. So here 2, rather than 2, we are having 3 that is being repeated, multiplied by itself. So we can make it into a square, and that's it. These are basically your prime factors for 90. If you have quite bigger numbers, like just the way they gave us the number 144, so similar thing is there. You can use small numbers first at the start to multiply them, like whatsoever the figure is in your mind, you can use them. Like if I have this 144, so I know that 12 times basically gives me 144, but you can use the number 2 as well. As this is an even number, so you can divide it by 2 and it will be going to give you more prime numbers accordingly. So I'm using 12 times 12. You can use 2 with any number as well. So 12 times 12, and here we can go with 6 times 2. This as well will be 6 times 2, and then we will. Okay, so accordingly, 6 can be further, we can make it into some factors like this. So all of these numbers that are coming at the ends, we are having these all numbers. So accordingly, if we are going to make them as a product of their prime factors, so how many times 2's are basically repeating? 1 2 3 4. 4 times uh 4 times 2 is basically repeating, and 2 times 3 is basically repeated. So accordingly, we can write 2 raised to the power 4, and here we can write 3 square. So these are basically the factors for 144. Next, if we would be checking for the part number E, we have the number 1000 for question number 8. So as we have the number 1000, so we need to make again the prime factors for the number 1000. You can use 10 as well, like 10 100 times, 10 10 times, and you can further make it as 5 2 times, 5 2 times, 5 2 times. So here for the number 1000, the numbers that are being repeated are 3 times 2's that will be multiplied with each other, and 3 times 5 that will be multiplied with each other. So we can go with 2 cube and 5 cube. So these are the factors, prime factors for 1000. So rest you can try like for 880 yourself. And let's move towards the next part. This is part number 9, and here they're asking to find out the highest common factor. Okay, for finding out the highest common factor, you can use again the method that I told you earlier, the Venn diagram method. So if you don't know the method, you can go in example and you can check it better, or otherwise you can go with to my previous video and check it from there, like how we can find out the HCF using the Venn diagram method. Okay, for question number 9, that method as well is easier one method. We need to find out basically the HCF. And HCF are basically going to have the factors. Like in LCM, we use multiples, but in HCF, we are going to use the factors. So the factors that we need to make are for number 24 and number 60. For this, again, for making the factors, you can use the factor tree method. So we need to make the factors for 24. So 2 12 times, 6 2 times, and 2 3 times. Similarly, we need to make for number 60 as well. 6 10 times, 2 3 times, 5 2 times. So whatsoever the factors we got for 24, the factors we got are 2, 2, 2, 3. And the number 60, for this, the factors we got are 2, 2, 3, 5. So now we are going to make it into a Venn diagram. In this Venn diagram, we are going to make two of the circles that they will overlap each other like this. At one circle, we can write the number 24 as the factors and then the number 60. Okay, in between, we are going to write down the numbers that are basically common in both of them, like we have 2 over here, and over here. So all these three numbers are the common numbers, so you can write them in the middle. And whatsoever the numbers that are remaining for 24 and 60, you can write them here, okay? Like for 24, we are remaining with only 2, and for 60, we are remaining with 5, okay? And if we want to find out the HCF, so what you can do, you can just simply multiply the numbers that are common, okay? So these will be your highest common factor. So 2 times 4 and 4 3 times would be 12. So 12 is basically the HCF for the number 24 and 60. Okay, so you can use this factor tree method as well. I told you the both methods, so whatsoever the method is easier for you, you can choose that. So from here as well, if like after making the factors, these are my common factor, directly multiply them and here you got. So this is basically the method of Venn diagram. And this one is basically the factor tree method. So both methods are easy. Whatsoever the method you want to go with, you can go with this method, okay? So this is the method to find out the HCF for the numbers. Next, the two numbers that we have are 90 and 144. So for 90 and 144, if you want to find out the HCF for part number 9, question number 9, part number B, we have the numbers 90 and 144. So if we are going to make the HCF, like if we need to find out the HCF over here, let's first of all make the factors of number 90 and 144 to 9 10 times, 3 3 times, and 5 2 times. Okay, here we got all the prime numbers at the ends. Then we need to make the factors for 144 as well. So 12 times, 6 2 times, here as well 6 2 times. Similarly for the 6, 2 3 times, and here as well 2 3 times. So the factors that we got, first we can write them here, 90 and 144. So if we will write the factors, you need to write them all in this form, okay, like separately, and in the form of multiplication, you can just choose a better order to write them, like first 2, then 3s, and then 5. For 144, we have how many 2's over here? 1 2 3 4. So 1 2 3 4, and 3 3 we have 2 times. So accordingly, what are the common factors or common numbers are there? They will be your HCF. Like we have 2, and when we have this 3 here, accordingly our HCF is coming. The highest common factor for 90 and 144 is 3 2 times. Yeah, one more 3 is also there on this and this. So times it by 3 as well. 3 2 times 6, and 3 times is 18. So 18 is basically the HCF for the number 90 and 144. Okay, let's move towards the next part that they gave. Let's go on with D part. So in this D part, we need to make the factors for 24 and 880. Again, for these numbers, like if the numbers are quite big, you need to make them into the very small factors. So you can use any numbers at the start to make them into factors, fine. For example, first number is 24, so 12 2 times, 6 2 times, and this 2 3 times. Or for 880, if we want to make the factors, so we can go with 88 10 times, 4 2 times, like 422 times, and this 5 2 times. Similarly, for 4 you can make it as 2 2 times, and this to 11 times. Okay, 11 as well is a prime factor, so you can just leave it like this. So we got all these numbers. Circling these numbers will make you easier to pick up your prime factors. Similarly, over here we got these numbers. Okay, so let's write them down over here. First of all, for 24, the prime factors we got are 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And for 880, we got how many 2's are over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And along with this, we have 1 5 and 1 11. 5 and 11. So let's find out what is basically the HCF. So we need to check what are the common numbers over here. We have all these 2's that are common. So rest, no, like no number is common over here. So HCF would be 2 times 2 times 2, and that would be 8. So this is the HCF for the number 24 and 880. Next, the like one of the number they gave, the part F, that is basically having three numbers. So 24, 60, and 144. So we are going to make the factors of all of these numbers, and then we will be finding out the common numbers from all these three. 24 factors are already with us, so we will be using these factors, and for the others we can make the factors again. Okay, so for 144 and 60 we have practiced some factors before as well, so we will be using similarly. We have 24, 60, and 144. Okay, so the next number is 60 that we need to make the factors for. So 6 10 times, and 6 for 2 3 times, and 5 2 times. Okay, and the remaining number is 144. Again, you can make the factors with 12, like 12 12 times, 6 2 times, here as well 6 2 times, and further 6 can be made into 2 3 times and 2 3 times. So now we are going to write down the numbers over here for these 24, 60, and 144. For 24, we are having the factors 2, 2, and 3. So accordingly, 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Next, we have number 60. For this, we have 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And for the number 144, we have, okay, we have 1 2 3 4 4 times 2's together, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and 1 2 3's we have. Accordingly, if we will be checking that what are the numbers that are common in all of these three, we have this 2, one more 2, okay, and 1 3. Okay, so HCF for the number 24, 60, and 144 are 2 times 2 times 3. Okay, accordingly, we need to multiply first all of these numbers. So 2 2 times 4 and 4 3 times would be 12. Okay, this is basically the number that we got as HCF of the numbers 24, 60, and 144. So this is basically the concept of HCF, finding the HCF of the number that is basically the highest common factor. For that, I'm using the factor tree method. As I told you about the Venn diagram method as well, so you can use that particular method as well to find out the HCF. Next concept is about the LCM of the numbers, and for this, as previously in the example as well we discussed, so let's discuss them further, that how we can find out the LCM for some particular numbers. Okay, so we need to find out the LCM, least common multiple. You can use the multiple method as well, like for the smaller numbers I can tell you the multiple method as well, or for if the numbers are quite bigger, then you can use simple this factor tree method or even the Venn diagram. So I will tell you all these methods with all these questions one by one, so whatsoever the method is easier for you, you can go with. Okay, so what's in A part? We have 8 and 15. We need to first of all, like first I'm using the multiple method here. Multiples method. What we are going to do in this, we are going to write down the multiples for the number 8 and number 15, and we are going to see that which one is the least common multiple. Okay, we can choose 5 or 8 multiples at the start, like 8 one time. Like I'm choosing the first 6 multiples of the number 8. Next, we can write the multiples for the number 15 as well. 15 1 times 15, 15 2 times 30, 15 3 times 45. Okay, then we can go with 15, 15 4 times, that would be 60. Okay, and then 15 5 times, we can go with 75. 15 6 times, we can go with 90. So we need to pick up a least common multiple, a multiple that would be the least over here, but that basically will be common. So then 15, accordingly, if like from these all numbers, you can't see any of the number that is common. So you need to pick up some more numbers. So we can pick up some more numbers for number 8 as well, because these numbers are also not having any number common. So 8 7 times, we got 56. Then we can go with 8 8 times, 64. Okay, and then further as well, similarly, 8 9 times, 72, 8 10 times, 80. And then similarly for 8 11 times would be 88. 8, we need to go with 12 times, it's coming 96. Then like for the multiple method, for the big numbers, it's basically difficult to find out to write down all the multiples, okay? But I'm telling you that how we can get the multiple method to find out the LCM, okay? Otherwise, if you are like okay with the other methods, so you can go with, then 8 13 times is 104. 8 14 times is 112. 8 15 times is 120. Let's see for these numbers if we are getting any number common for number 15. Okay, as we got until 15 6 times, so next we need to go with 15 7 times, 105. Then 15 8 times, 120. Yeah, here we got a common multiple, that is 120 over here and over here. So it means that LCM over here for these two numbers is 120. Basically, the multiple method is quite suitable for very small numbers like from 1 up to 10. These numbers will be easier. If you are comparing these two numbers, then this LCM method would be more suitable, okay? Otherwise, for the big numbers, it's better to go with other methods like the Venn diagram method, or you can use the factor tree method. Like for example, if for question number 10 part B, question number 10 part B, the numbers that they gave are 10 and 45. So according to these, if I will be checking the LCM for according to factor tree method, first is the number 10, so 5 2 times 10. For 45, making the factors, this will be 9 5 times and 3 3 times. Accordingly, if like I'm going to use the factor tree method, then the factors of 10 I'm going to write they are 2 and 5. The factors of 45 I'm going to write they are 3 times 3 times 5. So first of all, I'm going to find out the common factors. Common factor is only 5 that is coming. And next we are going to write down the non-common factors. So for non-common factors, the other factors that are remaining, all of these you need to multiply 2 times 3 times 3. So here, if I'm going to find out the LCM, so I'm going to multiply my common factors as well and my non-common factors as well. So all of these numbers are going to be multiplied together. So after multiplication of like 3 times 6, 6 3 times 18, and then 18 needs to be multiplied by 5, that's coming 90. So the LCM for these two numbers, 10 and 45, is 90. Okay, so one is this method. This is basically the factor tree method, making the factors into and then finding the LCM. And this is multiple method, in which you can write down the multiples of the particular number and then find out that which is the least common multiple. Okay, least means the smallest common multiple. Okay, because other than that of this previously we haven't got any common multiple, so only 120 was the multiple that we got in common. Okay, so let's go with any other method, like as I told you that we can use the method, what's the name? Venn diagram method. Okay, Venn diagram method is also suitable for finding out the LCM. Like for example, if I have the number 12 and number 20, first of all, you can draw the factor tree to draw the factors for these. 6 2 times, 2 3 times. For number 20, 10 2 times, 2 5 times. What we are going to go on with, we are going to draw again the Venn diagram. And inside this Venn diagram, I'm going to draw two circles. They will overlap each other like this. Okay, at the top of the one circle, you can write the factors for the number 12. We are going to write in this, and in this, we are going to write down the factors for 20. And in between, we are going to write down the common factors. Like we can check first of all, what are the common factors, as we got 2 over here and here as well, 2 over here and here as well. It means that I got 2 and 2 as a common factor, and the non-common factors are 3 for the number 12 and 5 for the number 20. So now we are going to find out the LCM. So after finding out this, we are going to find out the LCM. For LCM, again, we are going to write down the common factors as well and non-common factors as well. So we are going to multiply all of these numbers, and that would be our LCM. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. 60 is the LCM for number 12 and number 20. Okay, so similarly, you can try 3 different methods to these questions as well: 624, 921, and 1570. Try like all of these 3 methods and check which one method is suitable for you, so you can use that particular method. So that's all, like from for HCF and LCM. And inshallah, from the next one lecture, we are going to start working on the squares and the cubes. So see you in the next class. Allah Hafiz.